Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. We're going to dip back in on this Hogwarts Legacy debacle. Hogwarts Legacy is an upcoming Harry Potter RPG game from Warner Brothers, and game journalists are so salty about this game. The initial reason for the salt was that, of course, it's based on Harry Potter, which means that J.K. Rowling gets a nickel, probably several nickels or shillings, every time a copy of this game sells. So there were a lot of people calling for the total ban of this game when she made her controversial tweets. Well, to add insult to injury, it turned out that one of the game developers, and I did a video about this the other day, one of the game developers used to run what they consider to be a quote-unquote anti-SJW YouTube channel talking about the gaming industry and giving hot takes on things that went down during Gamergate. And as I understand it, his channel wasn't terribly spicy, but he now works on that game. And his employers, Warner Brothers, were fully aware of it. They knew he had a YouTube channel at one point. He doesn't update it anymore. But, it's something he did on the side. It didn't affect his work, as long as it's not affecting his job performance. And it's clearly stated that his opinions are his opinions. I don't see where there's a problem. But welcome to 2021. Welcome to Twitter, and we're going to talk about ResetEra. ResetEra, which is sort of the most wretched hive of scum and villainy in the gaming industry. This is where all the journos get together, right? ResetEra has banned all talk of this game. You're not allowed to talk about Hogwarts Legacy. This is some serious batshit crazy blacklisting. These journalists and these outrage mobs are going to push Warner Brothers to cancel the game. You watch. I would not be surprised if they canceled the game and then Warner Brothers put a statement out there and said, because we're so inclusive and we care about our people so much current year, we're just going to pull the plug on the game because frankly we don't feel like dealing with controversy. I don't know. Maybe that won't happen. Maybe it won't happen, but it just seems like more and more of these companies are bending the knee to these outrage mobs, and they need to stop it. Stop it. So they write some shitty things about you on some shitty blog. People are not going to their blogs anymore, which is why they're freaking the hell out, because they want more unbiased news. They want different takes on news. They want news outlets that speak for actual gamers, actual nerds, actual geeks, actual weebs, and not the extremists on Twitter. I digress. Before I get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We do talk about video game news occasionally. We do talk about animation, comics, whatever interests us that day. And this story is interesting because we are watching a cancellation in real time. Whether it's the game or this developer working on the game, Twitter and all these game journos are basically proving him right. He had some spicy takes, I guess, or not so spicy takes, normal takes. I'd say normie take. He had a normie take on Gamergate. And Gamergate was basically about this. That's the irony in all of this, as I understand it. And I wasn't there for Gamergate. I wasn't there. But as I understand it, it was about pushback against these journalists constantly lying and trying to get people fired and all of this bullshit. And here it is. We're watching it. We're watching it happen again. God, just like maybe BuzzFeed was ahead of the curve by announcing a Gamergate movie, because it's like this is Gamergate 2.0. So Sophia Norwitz puts out that ResetEra via Jason Schreier, ResetEra is banning a total ban on threads for promotional media from the new Harry Potter game in the wake of the J.K. Rowling transphobic views and recent discovery that one of the game's lead designers is a pro Gamergate YouTuber. Statement, right? This was on Game Rant. It was on some other sites as well. So, this is how this works. We create a non-controversy. We get our friends to whip it up into a frenzy. We get Twitter to talk about it, and then we go write a bunch of hit pieces, all of us in lockstep, to try to get a game or a developer canceled. So ResetEra bans all Hogwarts Legacy threads. ResetEra takes big steps in response to the recent controversy surrounding Harry Potter game Hogwarts Legacy's lead designer, Troy Levitt. Troy is probably, hopefully, not going to get canceled because Warner Brothers knew about it, but you know what? They're going to keep pushing because there has to be blood. You can't allow this, Warner Brothers. You know what are people going to say? You're working with J.K. Rowling and this guy? Oh my God. Who had some not even very spicy takes on the game industry? What is wrong with you? Despite having not having released Hogwarts, that's a very awkward sentence. Despite not having released yet Hogwarts Legacy. Okay, Hogwarts Legacy is not out yet. But the latest game in the Harry Potter series has attracted its fair share of controversy that has started to affect who wants to be associated with it. ResetEra wants nothing to do with it. From the moment it was announced, there have been people who are unhappy with Hogwarts Legacy and its association with J.K. Rowling. Sorry guys, it's her franchise. That's the deal. While the developers have confirmed that Rowling is not going to have any input into the content of the game, there are a lot of people who still don't want to support it because J.K. Rowling has expressed anti-transgender viewpoints on her Twitter account. Depends on who you ask. Even if she's not making the game, they don't want to support her views by buying it and giving her money. They were literally talking about how to buy the game secondhand so they could play the game, but not give her money. Like, this is insane. Like, guys, you're going to have to just walk away from Harry Potter because everything Harry Potter she gets paid from. You can't take her out of it. It's impossible. Even if she's not directly involved, she still gets paid or her estate gets paid. That is the deal. You know, but they're not willing to give up Harry Potter, so they're like, let's do the huge end run to be able to play these games and watch these movies and still feel better about not giving her money directly, even though somebody else had to give her money first. It's stupid. It's stupid. Now a lot of them just want it canceled. These feelings got only more intense last week as Twitter user Liam Robertson uncovered that the Hogwarts Legacy lead designer Troy Levitt, I believe it's Levitt, maybe it's Levitt, Troy Levitt had uploaded several videos to his YouTube account in the past supporting Gamergate and other far-right causes. What? In response to this new information, gaming forum ResetEra has banned all promotional discussion of the game. Let's read their statement. Let's read their statement. Official staff communication. So this is a uniquely awful situation where both the creator of the IP and a senior producer on the game have unrepentant, bigoted views. We have talked before about the parallels between these sorts of witch hunts, the cancel mobs, and religious zealots and cults. They're unrepentant. They must be shunned. Don't you see the parallels here? Why does nobody see the unrepentant, bigoted views. The team has talked it over at length. I don't think it took very long. And as a result, we've decided to implement a total ban on threads for promotional material for this game. This means there will be no threads for trailers or official announcements, no hype threads, no fluff pieces about its features. It's dead to us. This functionally bans almost all threads leading up to release unless there are major new developments about the controversy or something along those lines. This is the first time we've done something like this, and we consider this a very exceptional case because it's two problematic things in one. Yeah, I wasn't kidding. It's not just one bigoted game designer. It's J.K. Rowling's taint, her singular reach and influence, how closely that influence is tied to Harry Potter and what she chose to do with that power. It's a unique problem on top of this controversy. We're going to revisit whether to have an OT much closer to the game's release. Learning from what happened with Cyberpunk, if there is an OT, we'll have a text-only OP created by staff that lays out the controversy with the game and the IP. The main reason to have an OT at all is the same one we've articulated before. Some minority members want a safe space to discuss the game's contents where they will not be shouted down by bigots. For now, though, we're definitely not going to be platforming the marketing. If you see any threads for that stuff, report it. Report anybody supporting Harry Potter. Just like fucking Umbridge. If you're unsure about a thread you want to post in, please contact the staff first to check before creating it. Oh my God. Panic, moral panic. Moral panic. We saw this before with Comicsgate too. One of the big comic book forums, I think it was a Newsarama or Comic Book Resources. But they banned all talk of Comicsgate. You weren't allowed to talk about Comicsgate, even generally. Like, do you think Comicsgate's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? No, you are not allowed to speak of it at all because you're going to give them power. It's like, trust me, those guys aren't spending any time in your forums. I'm just saying. But here we go. Here comes the smear campaign, and I gotta wonder how long until Warner Brothers caves and just cancels the game completely. I hope it doesn't happen. I mean, not that I really personally care. I've never bought a Harry Potter game. I don't really care. But if they cancel it, then they've definitely catered to this outrage mob. They've caved, and it'll happen again. It'll happen again with a different game, with a different movie, with a different TV show. You will never make these people happy, ever. So, just do what you're gonna do. How many pre-orders do they have for this game? How much money is rolling in from this game? That's what they got to look at, I think, right? I don't know. So I'm gonna wrap this one up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We will talk later.